this and see if it works. Hello. Hopefully this is coming through to YouTube. We are going to know in just a moment while I monitor my channel here. And if it is, we can get started. Oh. Can it? Is it? I don't know. Anyway, hi, by the way, if you are seeing this, this on YouTube, we are just moments away from starting the show. Last time I started this, it was quite embarrassing. I didn't realise I was actually live, and I was just trying to set everything up for like a solid 8 minutes. So I'm just trying to avoid that this time round. Hopefully we can do that. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Oh, it does say I'm live now, which is good. Okay, fantastic. So I am live now. So welcome all you fine people of the internet. I'm just trying to get into this so I can see on the off chance. This, I might have to change the title here. I think it says that this is about Candace Owens. That is not. That was the last one. So we will change that. But that's alright. I'm just trying to make sure I can see the chat, so if anybody is in there, I can respond to them. Anyway, so this is, I'm just talking about a little bit of an internet drama tonight. Which, yeah, there was a couple of creators that I happen to follow, and they are, I'm getting distracted by my own face over here on the screen, so sorry guys, I am going to pay attention here. So yeah, like I said, there's a couple of creators that I follow. One I've just kind of more recently started following. Anyway, they got into a bit of beef over the weekend. Which, hey, look, content creators online, they live for beef. This is it's how their bread is buttered. Like, you know, they'll say something, somebody will react to it, and then they'll make money for making videos reacting to their reaction, and so on and so forth. It's continuous. So as much as they kind of, you know, say, oh, I don't know why they're I think they kind of secretly love it when people attack them, because it gives them some content to produce. That being said, right, getting to the two people we're talking about. So yeah, I came across this some videos on Instagram, I believe. So the first person involved in this little drama is Roma Army, or Chloe Sunderland, I believe she goes by. As you can see, she has got 1.7 million followers on YouTube, so she does pretty well for herself. She's pretty up there, you know, kind of a big deal. And I think she's got like 500,000 followers on Instagram and pretty big on TikTok as well. I can't remember how many. Okay, and anyway, so there was a bit of a drama between her and the man behind this channel, The Crucible, Andrew Wilson, who you may know I think he seemed to have got his big break from the Whatever podcast. Which, to be fair, Chloe Sunderland has also been on the Whatever podcast more recently. And yeah, and he's kind of like a debate me bro. Does a whole lot of debates on the Whatever podcast. Seems to debate people on TikTok an awful lot. And look, both of these people, I suppose, in their own way, are a little bit controversial figures. Andrew possibly slightly more, just because he has a way of getting under people's skins and winding people up. I will say, like, he debates a lot of people, isn't afraid to debate anyone. He can be pretty ruthless in debates, has had some really ridiculous things he's said. I'm not going to defend that, but, you know, it's just what it is. I'm just going to try to see if I can change that colour, because it looks a little bit funny in my screen. If I can just turn it down a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, these two people. So, but before we get into actually how this unfolded, we kind of need to take a step back and involve one other creator as well. Well, actually, there's two other people that are involved in this. And just hold on, bear with me. Like I said, these people are some pretty massive creators, but this starts off with actually a far smaller creator. And while we're on the subject of far smaller creators, you know who is also a far smaller creator? Yours truly, the Caffeinated Dad at the Big Bag Caffeinated Podcast. So please, if you're watching this, if you're enjoying this show, please, I'd ask you to maybe consider hitting the old like and subscribe button. It means a whole lot to the channel. Alright, so anyway, this whole seemed to have kicked off, as far as I can tell. There may be something else. It started to kick off with this man here, the Real Mighty Mouse, also known as Marte Rulas. Apologies, bro, if I pronounce that wrong. No disrespect meant, just I think. Okay, so he's an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Okay, so bodybuilder, ruthless debater, and patriarchist. Is that patriarchist? Patriarchist? Yeah, I think that's the correct pronunciation. Also an Orthodox catechumen. I had to look up what that means, to be honest. Basically, it's somebody who I think is going through the stages of becoming like a baptized in the Orthodox Church. That will come up later. Just put that way in your back of your mind. Okay, so anyway, he seems to have an issue with Chloe Sutherland. I'm not really sure why. It seems to start off with this video this way. And one of the funny things about this, I'll just point out. So Chloe Sutherland and Andrew Wilson, like, these are big creators, and by comparison, like, I'm not saying this guy's an absolute nobody, but like 6,765, like, by comparison, he's a pretty small guy. I don't know, maybe he's got a big YouTube following, not that I'm aware of. I couldn't see anything. But anyway, he's got these clips, and not to be too harsh on the guy, but he's not doing amazing numbers. But that changes a little bit. So if we go back to this one here, so this seems to be where it's kicked off, and this is his problem. Marte calling out I'm here. Roma Army on a
is because I have a
I can't seem to. Okay, sorry, I don't want to interrupt the audio. So here we go. So this seems to be his problem with Chloe Sutherland, also known as Roma Army.
I'm here is because I have a mission to expose and magnify this woman.
Okay.
To me, I don't think that women are supposed to be leading male rights advocate movements. This is not supposed to be a thing. Matter of fact, if you look at women in households where they lead, because if she's supposed to be a male rights advocate or leading a group of men, according to her, she has an army, Roma's army, right?
Right.
Well, what's the outcomes of single mom households? More likely to go to prison, 67% likely to go to prison, more likely to do sex work, more likely to be crime-ridden communities in promoting this. They promote the men that you're going to date as women, very sensitive men, because they're going to emulate mom and these women. It's like, no, I'm totally against it. So I think, in my opinion, she's a grifter, unless you can tell me how she's not grifting off of men with a Patreon, wearing lingerie. This is your men's. I'm here.
Okay, so there's a little bit there to unpack, but I found this whole argument completely confusing and just like a bit ridiculous. Okay, so like, first of all, he's talking about her hypocrisy, her apparent hypocrisy, which I'm not really sure there is any here, but he's saying, like, you know, she shouldn't be a leader in the men's rights movement. Which is just an unusual argument, because he's like, oh, and she's like running this Roma army, like, you know, woman. This whole woman shouldn't lead is a little bit confusing to me. Like, I can follow the logic to a certain point, but like, not really in this, especially not in this context. Okay, because she's really just an advocate. Like, she's just an advocate for men, right? And it's just sticking up for men, and like, you know, and like, that's really all she does. Like, it's unusual for somebody like, he's saying that she's grifting, but as far as I can tell, this guy is grifting off a much larger content creator, trying to get people to view his content by calling her out and saying that she's this big hypocrite, when he's really got nothing to stand on here, because it's like, he's just criticizing a woman who's an advocate for men's rights, you know, and just pointing out some of the ways that society are not actually fair is towards men, you know, which kind of goes against the I guess, the cultural beliefs, and it's not a popular. It's not a popular take for her to go down, and like I'll be really honest, like some things I don't agree with Chloe on. Yeah, mostly I think there's a few things that I think she's given a bit too much credit to men over, and I'm like, I'm not really sure I'd agree with that so much. But like this take is really confusing. Like as far as I can see, he's accusing Chloe of being a grifter. But as far as I can see, his logic does not add up here. It doesn't really work, and it seems a whole lot more like, hey, here we go. Yeah, he's adding, he's tagging her in the comments here, to try and get her or people who follow her to react to this. So yeah, I think if anybody's a grifter here, it's more likely him. And so, anyway, so carrying on, and one of the things, like I said, like he's not hugely successful at doing this. He's got a lot of his videos, 0 comments, 1 like, 0 comments, 20 likes, 3 comments, until it gets to this one here, in which case he's got 38 likes and 178 comments, which is a good sign that you may have upset some people with it there, because generally if they've got a whole lot to say but aren't liking your content, yeah, you might have done something wrong. You might have done something to upset some people. So anyway, it carries on. His latest comment. No. But anyway, if I can go to, just bear with me, I'll try and find because she. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. I am just trying to find. She must have done a response. Here we go. Sorry. This is going so smoothly, guys. So thank you for anybody watching. Here we go. I believe this one here is one of his response videos. Okay, where he did get. Now, to be fair, like, well, so I'll just read her post here. I feel that this song was specifically made for the real Mighty Mouse, a man who's trying to cancel me for advocating for men, because the only woman he's ever going to get with is some hooker that gets naked for every other man but him. So, hey, if you're going to call out somebody big like that, they might hit back hard. And anyway, you can see the comments here, which is kind of giving it. Okay, we'll just let this blend play.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play.
Why do women always have to use sex to attack you? I mean, to me, it's like there's no difference between an OnlyFans worker, a Patreon worker, and then you doing this.
Once again, logic not exactly stacking up here. Okay, so and like, I think he's kind of going back to this to be a little bit, be honest. Like, okay, she kind of hit him hard there, but hey, it was a fair hit. Like he had criticised her. She came back and kind of roasted him a little bit. And hey, once again, there is some more context to that, which I want to get to. I want to give everybody a fair view here as much as I can with this video. Okay, and like, I think he's actually attacking her a little bit because she has, Chloe Roma Army is quite open with it. She has a bit of a history. She has used to worked in adult entertainment, which she doesn't advocate for people to do. She thinks it's quite harmful for women. I would agree with that. Like, I don't think it's a really great path for women to head down, or anybody to head down, to be fair, whether you're producing it or consuming it. That being said, anyway, I think that he's kind of taking it a group, and like, as far as he has a Patreon, I'm not aware, and I'm pretty sure there is no there's like no adult content on her Patreon. As far as I'm aware, I don't think that's what's going on in there. So I think that's a little bit of a him just taking a bit of a slight at her right there. Anyway, like I said, there was a whole bunch of comments on this, and one of these comments is from this one here, Rachel Wilson BHM. Remember that name? So this is going to be the fourth person involved in this one here. And she made a few comments in there. Obviously arguing with people in the comments there. Do you even know who my husband is? Which just made me laugh. Like, okay, settle down, love. All right. But this comment here, I think, is what kicked off a little bit of drama here. Look at all the pathetic... look at all the pathetic simp men jumping in the comments here. Holy crap. I don't hang out on the goer side of the internet, so I forgot how many of them there were. Any of you who believe Roma is out here fighting for men's right are laughable idiots. Okay, 28 replies. So anyway, this one kicked off. King of Spades. I have no idea who you're talking about. My husband is dedicated every second of his time to... Who? Oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Okay, and then... Okay, from here, I think we're going to have to jump back to... Bear with me a second. I'm going to jump back to Roma's page there, because I think her response to there. Because obviously she saw... this is Andrew Wilson's wife. Kind of attacking her a little bit in the comments and was a little bit perplexed as to why. Oh, sorry. Here we go. With you in a second there, guys. Here we go. If I can.
Anybody who thinks that Roma is actually sticking up for men is an idiot. Well, what the fuck else do I do? Sit here and pick my ass? I'm just so confused as to why all of these women who are twice my age are coming after me all of a sudden. Like, what the actual fuck did I do to you? You need to find something better to do. Don't worry, ma'am. If I had to wake up every single day with a husband that really sat on a podcast and tried to defend the fact that rape can't be bad if the woman got wet... I would be pretty miserable too. You know, I get it.
Okay, that once again, arguing, that's all, I think all she said there is completely fair. I kind of want to put a little bit into context because I know that Andrew Wilson got roasted, and kind of fair enough too, for his argument there on the whatever. I do believe, even like this is actually one of Chloe's friends. Oh, I'm just gonna, bear with me a second. My little light here is dying. I'm just going to turn it off. So sorry about that, guys. A little bit. That's all right. That's off. All good. Don't use a rechargeable light. Use something that plugs in. That would be a smart move. Yeah, so he did, like, one of probably his most controversial takes, I think, was on the whatever podcast, and he was making an argument. It was clipped. And kind of fair enough, he made a really stupid argument. It sounded like he was justifying like sexual assault against some people if, in his words, they enjoyed it. That's not really the argument he was making, but it was a really bad argument to make. He could have used a lot better examples than the one he did. But anyway, so yeah, like, hey, if you say something like that on a massive podcast, yeah, it's probably going to come up forever. So, look, I think that was a fair criticism. So you can see in the comments kind of where I'm heading with this one here. If I can go back to... Here we go here. As you can see, she gets a few more likes and a few more comments than the old Mighty Mouse there. Here we go. Is the video?
Andrew Wilson's wife was caught in some bimbo's comment section calling any man who follows me a
I do think it's funny that she called the man a bimbo. And I think there is a little bit of context there as well. Well, according to Chloe, I want to be fair because I haven't seen anything to back this up, but I don't really have any reason not to believe she's telling the truth, that he was also abusing, well, he was a little bit abusive in some direct messages to some of her friends. Like, so I think there's the dad advocate. Apparently he really does have a problem if you're a men's right advocate and you're a woman, which, like, once again, why, bro? Why? Anyway, so here is her, her message here. Oh, sorry.
pathetic simp and laughable idiots, in which I responded by telling Andrew Wilson that his dog got loose, and about an hour later, I got this text from Brian saying,
I will see if I can make this bigger. Hold on a moment, guys. Just so it can be readable, legible, that type of thing. No, it's not. That's not making. That's not working. Anyway, okay, sorry. We'll let this play.
Thing that Andrew wanted to debate me. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, sure, I can take this on, no problem. Here I thought he was going to debate me on maybe the fact that I used to do sex work. No, he wants to debate me on these topics. Apparently I push a gay agenda, a trans ideology. I don't know if he thinks I'm trans or he just said to himself, oh, she's Canadian liberal. I'm going to pick out all the liberal ideologies that make Canadian liberals retards and attach them to Roma. Personally, I think Andrew Wilson thinks I'm an idiot. I think he thinks that I'm just some tatted up ex-gangbanger that decided to make videos one day. But what he doesn't realize is I'm actually very intelligent. I'm post-secondary educated, finished top of my class. My lowest mark was A-. I'm a smart woman. Basically, his whole standpoint is going to be that I'm not conservative enough to be an actual men's rights advocate. He thinks that my liberal degeneracy is hurting men more than it's helping them. And my biggest question is, when the fuck did politics come into men's rights advocacy? He either doesn't know what I do, he doesn't know about the men's rights community, or he thinks that men's rights advocacy should be some sort of political loyalty test, which I think is absolutely moronic. Because the moment that we make advocacy about politics, it stops being about men's rights and whatever you're advocating for, and it starts being about pushing your own political agenda. He wants to talk to me about sexual degeneracy. I'm sure he's going to bring up my past, which is fine. I'm very prepared for that. I just think it's a hot topic coming from a guy who's raising 2 other men's children. In case y'all didn't know, his wife has 3 baby daddies if you include him. So I'm a little curious as to if he's going to think that that's contributing to the degeneracy in society. But either way, we will be debating November 10th on the Whatever podcast. A lot of people seem to think that he's going to annihilate me because he has more experience debating. However, I'm familiar with Andrew's debating tactics, and the difference between me and him is that I go off of facts and logic, not emotions. The way I know I'm going to be just fine against Andrew Wilson is he seems to think that liberation theology has anything to do with sexuality. He's going to claim that modern feminism is what pushed this liberation of morality, if you will. But liberation theology is a 1960s, 70s Christian movement that says that faith should focus on liberating the poor and the oppressed. I'm very much looking forward to it. I will not apologize for calling his wife a dog, because she was acting like a bitch. November 10th on the Whatever podcast. So as I'm sure...
Okay, so I that comment at the end there did make me laugh, I've got to be honest. She said a lot there, and I kind of want to respond to it as best as I can, because there's a lot there that I agree with her on, and a lot there that she kind of lost me. Well, I wouldn't say lost me on, but I kind of would push back a little bit on. One of the things about, she said that men's rights shouldn't be politicized. Well, men's right advocacy. I agree to a large extent on that one there, but I also think that her stance, just by advocating for men's rights in general, that kind of puts her at odds with a lot of feminists who definitely do push a political agenda. So I think, as much as she might not see her movement as political, and I think that's fair enough, and I think that's good, I think it's very hard to get away from from people seeing it as political. I think it's a really hard battle to do. I'll come back to it, but I just do want to. I think she said in one of the other videos, she actually shows in this one here, what the debate is about. And this is where I'm just going to pause that for a second. So update, Andrew Wilson and I will now be debating November 10 on Whatever podcast live on their YouTube channel. The topics he wishes to debate, and I will quote him, are liberal degeneracy in is what led to the breakup of the family and the pushing of liberation theology expressly by women who advocated for homosexual degeneracy, just like Roma. Okay, I'll be honest, like, I don't think she has any problem with LGBT or whatever or anything like that. I don't think she advocates for it as such, but anyway, trans ideology leads to demasculation of traditional virtues-based ethics of which masculinity is based, creating an idea of interchangeable widgets. Promiscuity leads to worse outcomes for society, and sexual degeneracy weakens men's moral characters. That third one especially, I think, is a good argument. I don't think I have any problem against that one there. What I find a little bit interesting is, like, he's picked these, like, very clearly Andrew Wilson, and like I said, like, I kind of like a lot of his content. He's entertaining. He is an asshole. Like, let's be honest, he can be a bit of an asshole. He likes to argue with people. I think he gets a real thrill and a real kick out of it. But it's entertaining. Like, that's the only thing. Like, I'm not going to say he's a great dude. I'm just saying he's entertaining even when he's a bit of an asshole. Most of the time, he kind of matches people's energy. Whatever they're giving them, he'll give them back. But very clearly, in this situation, he is purely just wants to debate Chloe Sunderland because she had an argument online with her wife, which was a stupid argument. And also, I think that, as far as I can tell, the only reason his wife jumped in to defend this other guy was because he was part of the unorthodox church. That's really it. I don't know if he goes to their church. Like, this guy is not a big name creator. I don't know that they go in any other circles. But, you know, she jumped in for that reason. And so now we are where we are. And look, Chloe's a big girl. She's a smart girl. And strong, so, like, she doesn't need any debate advice from me. Absolutely not. I don't know about debating, but what I will say, and I'm quite interested to see this debate. I do like debates. I like to see people, even if I don't agree with them, push their ideas, and kind of makes you think, like, makes you kind of think about through things in your own head, like, do I agree with this? Don't I agree with? Why don't I agree with this? And hear the best argument. I really enjoy that. So I think I'm quite looking forward to this debate. I think it's going to be really good. What I will say, and I think Chloe's maybe kind of showing, well, she is kind of showing her hand quite a bit on this, because she's made a bit of content about this, which, fair enough, more than entitled to do. But I think she's jumped in and agreed to this debate with Andrew Wilson, I guess because she feels like it'll be good for her, and it probably will be. But I think it is maybe a little bit of a mistake to agree to debate him on topics that he's chosen, because and then also in that other video she's kind of